Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're back with another episode of Guess the Rank, where I look at your games and try to figure out your rank based on your gameplay. You guys submit me the matches through the gameleap community tab, I review them, and let's get into it. But before we do, remember smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post here every single day trying to help you guys get better at the game of Dota, so it really does mean the world if you just take the time to click the like button. It helps boost the video, promote it to people, and you know, if you want more Guess the Ranks, then you definitely gotta click it, and so on. And yeah, let's get into it. But before we do, remember that we do actually run a website. Believe it or not, if you click the like button, you'll eventually get 50% off on the gameleap website. Not right now, but if you click the link down below, you can actually go check out the website. We post content there every single day that's gonna help you get to the next level. Literally, I make videos on so many different topics. I just started making an invoker course, for instance. Before that, I did a support course, and you can check these videos out over on the gameleap website. You're gonna watch them and you're gonna be like, wow, Speed, I wish I knew from the beginning how great this service actually is. Nah, I'm just playing, but it actually is. So click the link down below, go give it a shot, and I'll see you guys there. So the first player we're gonna be watching is OG Botson, which is an invoker player. He says, this is one of my better invoker matches, so I hope you will review it. He wants us to look at the laning stage, some team fights, and overall guess his rank, and let's do it. All right, so starting it off, we're gonna be watching a team fight at 1530, then we're gonna watch a team fight at 2130, and then try to guess your rank. First of all, the CS is absolutely abysmal. You know, 68 at minute 15 is just, like, I hate to be that guy, but you're not going to get to high rank with 68 at 15. So honestly, anytime I see any number that's like below 80 at 15 or below 100 at 20 is when I kind of just like, I have to write you off to legend or below. So guys, take that seriously, you know? And yes, there's games where top 10 is very little CS, but there's a specific reason for that. I know that the majority of pub players are not getting low CS because they know exactly what they're doing, and so they're, you know, adapting their gameplay around the game. And once again, I know it sounds harsh, I'm just trying to help you guys gain MMR. That's really what it's all about. On top of that, the skill is so weird. Oh, I guess you were a Quas Exhort. Never mind. Okay, I'm just used to the mixed build. It's just more popular right now. But yeah, let's look at this team fight. So shove it out mid, which is good. Generally, as a mid laner, this is, you know, basically exactly what you want to do. You're going for Orchid, which, I don't know, your build's a little bit weird, but I know it's a thing on Exhort. Okay, nonetheless, fight breaks out. Let's see how you approach this. Already looking like a pretty bad fight. You go for the Meteor and then back off, which seems reasonable. You told me that wasn't much of a team fight, but all right, let's see what happens next. Going for Pugna is not easy. He's not a very easy kill. Let's see what's gonna happen though. They're pushing your mid tower. This guy's overextended, so poking him is okay if they don't have any jump. This overall seems like a good fight. Okay, I mean, that's a pretty decent tornado. The only problem is there's no follow-up right now. All right, this fight is it's so low MMR. Everyone's just overextending. You guys see what I'm saying? If you didn't see what I'm saying, like, you could just tell it's a low MMR game because no one actually understands the concept of, like, at least it seems like the case that no one understands the concept of overextending. Like, this Pugna is casting his blast from, like, half the possible range. That's just how you die. And then this Dawnbreaker is clearing this wave, which she could have cleared further back. Okay, they could commit to the tower now and just take it. Instead, they all just start, like, running around. Lina's casting a stun here. Pugna's doing the right thing. This guy is definitely out of position. He should be here, right? If you're gonna hit it, you should hit from here, not towards them. And then Grimstroke is also out of position. So, like, there's literally no good positioning, right, in this game. And, yeah, they just keep overextending. So, I mean, I hate to not judge it on your gameplay. I can kind of just tell from the people around you, which obviously means that you're, you know, definitely on the lower side. Your CS is also very difficult. I'm on top of that. I'm not a big fan of this build. That team fight seemed okay. Your original Meatball maybe wasn't the best, but other than that, it was pretty good. Obviously here, definitely need a little bit more awareness. Ursa is likely their most farmed hero, right? Considering it's their carry, he's also 3-1. And it seems like you just sort of forgot about him. Like, honestly, this seems like one of those situations where, unless you know your team has, like, some crazy upper advantage, you don't want to go into up their hill, right, onto their side of the map. Especially with, you know, with Ursa being still in the area. All right, next fight we got going here. Okay, so you got the BKB queued up. Things looking better. Okay. All right, get that BKB fight breaking out mid. You have a bottle, by the way. That's interesting. I haven't seen bottle invoker in a while. What items does this guy have? Could you have killed him? You could have killed him. What? What? Why didn't you cast your spells? What the heck? Like, the thing is, so it's like one of the most crucial things in Dota. By the way, this guy's so underfarmed. Oh my. At least it seems like he is. That guy's top net worth what? Am I missing something? Regardless, I mean, this guy walks up the hill and you take out, like, Tornado EMP. It's just such a weird... It's just kind of a weird set of spells if you're going to be running Exhort, Orchid Invoker, right? Like, I would expect you, if you're going to, like, use this combo first, to be maxing Exhort, going Vessel, playing that type of vibe. I don't, like... if I'm going to right-click build, I'm not prioritizing EMP. It's not your right-click ability. So you kind of just need to switch this up. Like, this is a waste of an EMP. This is a Cold Snap Alacrity. He's dead. Cold Snap Alacrity, Orchid, maybe with a Meteor on top. This guy's dead. So you just kind of straight up missed a kill. It's a good Tornado. It's, you know, this looks... Like, my thing about this is fight is one of those fights that, like, a lot of lower players, I'm just being honest, will look at this and say, wow, I casted some of my spells really well. I got a 3-man Tornado, like a potential 3-man Meatball. But the reality is, when you miss a solo kill and then prioritize, like, spell casting and you buy an Orchid, a huge question mark pops up in my head. Why are you focused primarily on your skills, which should only be prioritized if Axe is jumping in, because otherwise they miss most of the time, right? Invoker's just that type of hero. Why am I prioritizing my skills when my Axe is dead and I'm a right-click build? It really just... You guys see how it doesn't make much sense? Also, oh my god, no. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah. Hopefully you guys get the point, right? Because a lot of people will see this be like, yeah, 3-man Tornado, decent Meteor, and I still died. It's like, why? Well, the guy who killed you... Oh my god, you live. Well, the guy who almost killed you could have died earlier. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna guess your rank based off this. I will say that your spellcasting is pretty solid. I know I critique the order in which you do it. I think you need to drastically change the order and the approach you take to killing people and playing this hero, but the way you do cast the spells is good, so just really fix that order, and hopefully that helps everyone watching. Alright, and that's gonna be the end of the first clip. Well, I'm gonna say, I don't think he's Legend, I don't think he's that high, the CS is just too low. If we look at the overall game, it's also not the best, right? At minute 20, I usually say try to average 150, even on like, you know, even on like not necessarily flash farming heroes, if the game's going pretty well. Ursa at 174 at 24 is not terrible, but once again, I don't think it's the best. So I'm gonna say that this is, I don't wanna say Guardian, I'm gonna say Crusader 3. And you are... No, okay, you're a Guardian 4. All right, looks like you actually don't have that many games played, right? 748 wins, which I know is crazy because that means you probably have at least 1,400 matches. But nonetheless, Botson, thank you for submitting your replay. Good luck on your road to Crusader. I think you'll get there. Just, you know, change things up a little bit. All right, next up on the list, we have Magmar41, who wants us to look at a situation where he died at minute 15 and then a big play he made at minute 20. So let's do that. Number one, first things first, I have to say it. I do not like max crit on this hero. I am 10 times more of a fan of taking stats. The crit, it does go up 5% per level, which is, it's not good. Obviously, it's not that good because it starts at 20 and then goes up by 5, which is like, you know, quite awful scaling. So the reason why I like stats is Jug is a hero that does a lot of damage, but he can get bursted, right? The main way of killing him is bursting him. So stats is great. The extra edge is great. Even having the mana sometimes is nice. And yeah, I just don't think the crit scales nearly well enough to take it. So yeah, that's my first thing. But you end up getting ganked here. Let's take a look at what he could have done different. Already, I'm definitely seeing higher CS, but to be fair, you're a Jug and not an Invoker. It is 20 more CS. It's not as much as you'd want to have, but it's not bad. So you're hitting mid tower. I mean, the first thing I asked. So a big thing about like knowing why you died, guys, and if you want to get better at the game, this is something you have to do. Okay, it's like it's a non-negotiable. Most people don't do it, but you either have to do it in your head or in a replay. When you die, you have to look at the game from a minute up until a death. It's really, really useful as an exercise. Even pros should be doing this because pros will have an ego. They'll be like, yeah, you know, I died, but it was because this guy's not making space. And, you know, not all pros have this. I'm sure a lot of the really top tier ones actually don't because they don't make it, nearly as many excuses. But you have to go a minute back because otherwise you're going to miss stuff. So let's do that for this replay. Obviously, there's things you can learn from the death. Without going a minute back. Obviously, if it's just some like stupid lane death, maybe you don't have to. Actually, that's not even true because you could learn things. Yeah, let's look a minute back. Okay, so we see a Jaro top, a Batrider CM mid. CM was sort of walking down. No, she's walking up. I think Weaver showed bottom, or I think that was a replay bug actually. Okay, 2 heroes are going are top, right? 2 teammates and including an opponent. 2 heroes mid and a hero bottom. So right now you know that mid is slightly dangerous, but Bat TP's top. That makes mid very safe. I would say he's your main threat as well. Everyone else you could spin away from. So, okay, so Bat's top. We don't know if he used Lanzo. He probably did, assuming he took a fight, which is good knowledge. So my big problem already is I honestly just wouldn't hit this tower in the majority of games if I'm alone in the nighttime and the tower's not low. If this tower has an 8th HP left, okay, fine, finish it off, right? Go finish it off. Get that XP, get that gold, whatever. Or just, you know, the gold. Get the point. And that's fine. But where people make the mistake is they do it when, you know, nothing is really, really convenient. It's not like the enemy team is actually committed to top. They got to kill top, but now you have no idea where they are. Right? They could be anywhere. I mean, besides Bat, who TP'd. And so, yeah, hitting this tower is a risk. I know it's like, oh, but mid tower is important. Yeah, but so is your farm, and mid tower is important, but hitting it like this generally isn't going to get it, especially if it's already, 15 minutes into the game. Generally, you're going to win a fight that will get you there. Okay, I can tell you why you died. You can't do that. That was not good. If you're going to go on this guy, you cannot lead with spin. You cannot lead with spin when you're on their side of the map in the nighttime when their team isn't properly showing, right? Okay, they're showing CM, but that's all you know. You just can't spin on this guy. I mean, really, this has to be an Omni Slash, 100%. This is actually, not only does this have to be an Omni Slash, because you don't want to commit your spin, number 2, you don't have a TP, and number 3, this is actually a great Omni Slash opportunity, no creeps. You shouldn't save Omni Slash for a core, you just should pop it, right? Get that kill. So your big mistake, and I don't know if this is exactly what kills you, I haven't watched a clip yet, but is not using Omni here. This is absolutely an Omni Slash, especially for defensive reasons. Now, this is actually not a good Omni Slash, because it's going to bounce between him and the Rider. You're going to have no spin when you come out, and you're going to die. So yeah, this was a great clip. I really appreciate you submitting this. Like, I think this is going to help a lot of carry players who die in the mid game because they're using their spin too willy-nilly. You can't do that. You can use it in team fights. Keep this clear, but you cannot use it when you're split pushing. This is a split pushing type of scenario. You can split push mid. It's less common, but you can split push mid. This is basically split pushing mid. When you're split pushing, you cannot casually use spin unless it will finish off the kill. Even if it does finish off the kill, you have to be ready to TP after or know there isn't backup. Hopefully that makes sense, because yeah, this Omni Slash, it does a lot of damage. You almost kill the gyro, but that's the whole point. You almost kill him instead of killing him. And if you even had spin, you even could have killed that guy if you decided to hold it on Bat, which you wouldn't want to do. Just kill the Bat. All right, next up at 2010, you make a huge play. Next thing, I kind of prefer, Sanj and Yasha in most games as Juggernaut. Honestly, just the ability to survive and not get bursted, which once again is his biggest weakness. The Sanj is far better than Manta for that reasoning, right? For the stats resist and slightly higher HP, as well as the fact that it's just straight up cheaper, so you'll get to your next item faster. But nonetheless, let's look at what happens. So you say there's a big play. Weaver shifting over, basically impossible for you to kill him. That was not a good use of spin. You got to be you're just wasting spin. Like, it's a big thing I see with Juggernaut players. Anytime they even feel slightly threatened, they click it. You can't just click it. Especially in a game like this, where they don't have, like, the best disables. They can lasso you, that's the biggest threat, but even when you get lassoed, you still want to be able to spin after or right before it. So this was definitely a waste. Do you just Omni Slash him when he dies? That won't work unless you guys set up stuns. Yeah, okay, it looks like you just made that call. So it looks like you told your team to shift over, and you actually hid from the Weaver. Almost, your spin almost baited him there. I still wouldn't recommend using it like you did, but either way, yeah, I mean, that was fantastic. You really had a lot of patience and waited for your disables, so that was good. The other clip, even this clip to some extent, does give me a bit of the heebie-jeebies. Your CS is solid. It's not top tier, but it is very good, especially considering your Juggernaut. But yeah, I want to say Legend-ish. I think this is about Legend, because it's definitely not like Ancient Divine just because of mechanics. They're off. But all right, I want to say Legend. I'm going to say Legend 2. That's my final answer. And your rank is... Oh my, you're not, wait. I was how am I 2 brackets off? That is insane. Okay, I literally was a full 10 stars off of your rank, which is kind of crazy. You even went 20-3 this game. That's the Game League Classic, always send in the winning match. But you didn't really pick clips where you just destroyed everyone, which I can respect. Nonetheless, I definitely think you have a lot of potential. Just the fact that you're able to like think in a solo queue game and set up a play like that, it just shows me a lot of potential. I really mean that. It shows me potential. Definitely have a lot of work to do on the mechanics, but let's get into our final replay. And last, but certainly not least, we have Stinging Tunic, a very interesting name. Seems kind of like a name that Xbox would create for you. It's like Laughing Walrus or Stinky Clown. It's kind of like one of those two-part words, two-part combos, because I don't really think a tunic, right? Tunic's just an article of clothing, usually a shirt, right? So I don't really see how that could stink, but nonetheless. Let's get into your gameplay. You said, "Hi Speed, I'm recovering from food poisoning." That's very unfortunate. So most of my games aren't very good, but I really enjoyed this one. Started out awful with a flaming treant on our hands, awfully Darkseer and some feeding on my part, but the last 20 minutes were really fun and our Arc Warden was shredding. Oh, was shredding with me. Okay, not shredding you. That's good. Okay, hopefully you can point out some mistakes. Let's do it. So, your landing stage, we're going to watch the landing stage. We didn't for the other 2 clips. I know a lot of people are very interested in improving the landing stage, especially as to position 5. You know, that's when you have so much of your impact for the game. But yeah, struggling to get, okay, I think I'm going to watch the first 13 minutes of the game. There's so much value here as an AA. If you can hit a good timing on your level 6 and have a good landing stage, this hero is nutty in terms of how good it is. It's one of the best mid to late game heroes in Dota. So, okay, let's get into it. Oh my god, I thought your items were trained. I was like, oh my god, we're back to like 2015 2K MMR where people buy Orb of Venom on ranged heroes, which apparently people still do, which, whew, that's something. So you got the Bassi here. Seems pretty reasonable with Arc Ward, and unfortunately you do go down. Wow, this must be High Mamar. A synergized gank for First Blood. It's either a 5-man party game, low Mamar, or a Time Mamar. There's no in between there, really. There's no in between. Okay. So yeah, let's watch your lane. I like this cold feat. This is a great cold feat. So for anyone who doesn't understand like what constitutes a good cold feat, when they aren't stunned or slowed, right? Because obviously if they're stunned or slowed, generally it's a good cold feat. When you cold feat when they're not stunned or slowed in the early laning stage. You do it when someone's in melee range or committed to a trade. You never do it when they're walking away, right? Or even to the left or right. You don't want to do it then. You want to do it when they're committed to a right click or something like that. Because now the Nyx obviously can't commit after these right clicks. He sort of does, but now he's actually going to take the pain here. There's another cold feats up in 1, so yeah. This is very well played. This is great. This is definitely fantastic. You blocked the large camp too. All right, we're off to a good start. Hey, this might be the last clip with the Nyx Assassin who had like the best 3 minutes of all time, and all of a sudden he's just like what was it, Crusader 2 or something like that? I don't know. You get the point. This might be one of those games. I swear. I'm gonna guess like Immortal, and he's gonna be like Herald 3. Okay, so good side pull. It's even a half small pull, which I don't see a lot, so maybe it's just an accident. I'll write that one up for now. One thing I would like to say is I feel like you could just hit this Tidehunter more. You know, as much as I think stacking is good and all, Nyx Assassin doesn't do anything early on. Tidehunter isn't good early on for the most part. He sometimes is, if he has a Gush partner. Nyx is okay, but probably not. I mean, definitely not nearly as good as a Mirana or Alina or anything like that. So I would love to see you pressure this Tide. I think doing all this like stacking stuff with the small camp is good if like you really know the position for it and do it. Honestly, the higher and higher rank you get, the more like stacking the small camp is just not that practical. It's still good if you can get it off. It's just not practical because it get blocked a lot. So I think I would have just punched Tide in this lane, especially if I was playing. Small camp, like if you can always double up the small camp and pull it, it's kind of just OP. How often you can do it in a pub? Like you can literally do it 3 times in a row. If you're not doing that, then I recommend you do that. But yeah, in a game like this, that seems to be high MMR like this, just with how Nyx is contesting the camps, you're blocking camps, Tide is doing fine in the 1v1, Luna's pressuring him. It definitely is giving me high MMR vibes. I just can't imagine. If this game is like really low MMR, I'm going to be just blown away with how little I know, because there's just no way. Like there's too much logic, which I feel like I'm just flaming everyone. Like guys, trust me, I was at the bottom, so now I get it, all right? I get it, but all right, let's keep going. Wow, even the TPI for the stun. Okay, yeah, so my big thing, I'm going to say it one more time before we just kind of skip ahead. I'm more interested in like the whole 6 timing thing. The last thing I would say is just, yeah, you consider more if you're in a favorable lane. Like when I see an Assassin, a lot of the time, unless it's like a Viper off lane, I'm looking to, you know, pressure, even if there is a Viper. You know, that hero can be pressured at level 1. AA is quite good at right-clicking early on, but his attack range is good, his Q is solid at trading, his E is very good at trading. So you can kind of see where I'm going with that. Like I would have liked to see you abuse the fact that you're range to range against melee. Usually that's, you know, quite the advantage for the laning stage. Well, let's keep going. It's like at this point of the game, I definitely expect you to just keep pulling and would want you to keep pulling and not zoning Tide. This TP is a little bit weird. I don't get this TP. This TP just doesn't make any sense to me because I look at the heroes and I'm like, there's no synergy here, which sounds weird. It's like synergy in the early game. Like you know, what does that even mean? Like, yeah, I know mid game synergy and things like that, but like early game, of course, early game synergy is basically the same thing. It's like, I know this guy's low, but it's not like this Darkseer is some super high level with items. Probably doesn't have boots. He has no boots, 1 point in surge. Like, this guy's probably not going to die. Even if you guys end up almost killing him if he turns around, he's probably not going to die. So I definitely don't like this TP. It's only 6 minutes into the game. I'd probably just, you know, focus on maybe stacking 2 camps for bat or even just continuing to pull because, like, that's how you get your XP. You don't want to sap this Darkseer's XP. I can tell you that for sure. And then, okay, you just die warding. So yeah, that play, man, now I think it's, I make those plays though too, so I get it for high MMR and you do that because it's so tempting. It's like, oh, I can maybe kill this Luna, she's level 6, but you fall for the trap. And now, even because, you know, more importantly, because he's here, there's no one, like, you know, to protect Arc. I guess Tree and shifted over, that's good. Okay, let's keep going. So apparently this is where you struggled to get level 6, which is a huge timing. It's the AA timing. Like, honestly, here, I mean this for all you position 5 players, I would just run mid. If the fight even looks slightly bad, I would just book it mid. I'm getting level 6 at all costs. You think I'm kidding? Like, you guys actually think I'm not kidding. That is how important it is. So you actually do go mid here, which is already a good sign for me. Honestly, I think you should have just... hindsight's 20/20, but TPing out there. Okay, well, let's just keep going. Right, because it kind of burns, like, once again, your ability to get level 6 not having TP is so bad. So yeah, here you needed to go mid. I don't even care if there's an Arc Warden illusion or even an Arc Warden in the area. I would just tell him, hey man, I need it bad. And that sounds greedy, guys, right? It's like a support telling a core to, you know, to let him farm. I mean, yes, you are so useless. You can't make space for the Arc to get him more of a timing, because now you're only 5 at 1050, which is not a good, you know, it's not a good look. It's really tough. It happens. Some games it is what it is, but you really don't want it to be the case. Even here, I'd run top. Like, if I saw even one creep or the ability to side pull, you know, like this, what does this accomplish? What you're doing right now? I know it might seem like there's nothing to do, but like, you got to be creative to get your 6. Do a side pull, sap top in the trees, right? Sap top in the trees, shift to mid right away, that type of thing. Because yeah, it always hurts to watch, you know, it always hurts to watch. Because like this Ursa, you guys probably just kill him if you have Ravage. Okay. Yeah, all right, I think I'll end it about here. I feel like I have a good guess. I think this is around Ancient or Divine, something like that, because like a lot of the mechanics early on especially were extremely good. Certain movements were good. Even the fact that you don't have 6 right now, I could see you attempting to get it, which is just a good sign for me, you know? You're on the path. Sure, I don't think you were, you know, super creative and optimizing like how quickly you get to waves and how great you are. I definitely don't think you optimized that or worried enough about it. But I like the fact that you definitely were thinking about it. That always gives me, you know, a good vibe. But okay, let's see how this fight breaks out. You got the ulti. Yeah, that's a good ulti. You know, I would throw it out, even though you know, no one ends up dying. It's fine. But okay, I think I'm gonna guess Ancient something. I want to say high Ancient. I'm gonna say Ancient 5. For our last clip, let's see if the Stinging Tunic, who's had food poisoning recently, hope to get better quickly, my man. Let's see if he was Ancient 5. And Stinging Tunic for the last player of the game is... Please don't be immortal. Oh, okay, Divine 5. I still feel a little bit bad. I still do. All right, well, Stinging Tunic, I hope I didn't make your stomach sink. I understand it's already been through enough pain, so I apologize. But nonetheless, thank you for submitting your clip, especially a game where you're having a much harder time in the early game. Not your first 3 minutes. They were quite good. Even though, once again, I do think you should have considered pressuring the tide because of the matchups. I like the ideas of what you did. I just don't like that you didn't adjust because of the based on the matchups, which is one of the hardest things in the game, so it's tough. But okay, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you want me to do one of these again soon, you gotta click that like button, smash it right now. If it doesn't get to 1,000, another guest of rank isn't gonna happen. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'm out. Peace. And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.